going live with BeerBiceps right now.
How's it going, sir?
Super duper hit and join.
I'm glad. How are you, sir? How's this sort of second lockdown coming along for you?
Uh, we've seen some very interesting things in the first lockdown itself because in the last 1 year, whatever, 9 months, 10 months, we could get 7,000 people free without physically meeting.
Crazy,
7,000 people.
crazy.
So, yeah, we
So, sir,
are.
yeah, I'm from a family of doctors as well, so I understand the passion that you guys have for medicine. But this is a question to you, okay, doctor? Like this is like the question to the person inside you. Why have you
Sure.
like chosen diabetes as as the mission of your life, freeing the world of diabetes? Like why specifically this? I also feel generally people don't understand diabetes as a concept. People don't understand how common it is. People don't understand that they're on the trajectory towards going there. But as a health professional, why this and why not all the other stuff you could have chosen?
On the funnier side, I'm born one day after the World Diabetes Day. Okay.
Oh my God, that's like it's like a purpose.
Yeah. 14th November is World Diabetes Day. My birthday comes 15th November. But on a serious note, during medicine, after medicine, I wanted to do something which is more general in terms of health and stress. So it was health and stress first. I'll be very honest with you and everyone. I didn't know it was diabetes. Okay. So almost 12 years of working with around 150 corporates in 10 countries, being with them for whatever 1 day, 2 day program, I realized that there's no sustainable change over here. And that's when Dr. Neil Bernard, Dr. Gabriel Cousens, that books were coming out. And when I read that, it was very exciting because this is very easy to track and change. Okay, point number one, because you can measure sugars every day. I could have also taken reversal of heart disease, but that's difficult because when will you get an angiography done again?
Mm.
And the major thing was the suffering is crazy. Matlab, the people who take insulin injections when they have to travel, there's a big problem. Money is a big problem. A lot of other physical problems coming in with eyes, heart, kidneys. So it just happened. I mean, sometimes things keep happening. Once you're aligned with a deeper cause, then things just kind of start building up over a period of time. So that's how it has been.
Got it. You know, and I think right now, what happened during the course of COVID is everyone got like a sort of awakening to their own health. You know what I mean? Like everyone got very either they just completely let go and they realize, oh, okay, I'm not that healthy, or they went very deep into health. But most people have actually completely let go of their own health, and now people are starting to realize, oh, something I should have focused on through the rest of my life. So, is it true that a lot of young people, are dealing with diabetes as well? So, like, is it actually a much more common problem than we think?
Yeah, it's very, very common. Yeah. I mean, every family has it almost.
Mm.
So,
But
and
why
with the
why did you highlight suffering also? I'd love to know that, sir.
suffering, because it is pain in the sense that there is the moment once diagnosis happens, confidence goes down. Okay, you get fearful about how your long-term life will be.
Mm.
Okay, whether you'll be able to take care of your kids properly. I mean, people share
Mm.
that when they get at a younger age, they say, "Will I be alive for my kids' marriages?" I mean, at extreme levels, the fear itself is a suffering. Okay, taking the medicines, taking the tablets, injections, and despite that, slowly after 10 years, 10 years, 15 years, some degree of complications in terms of, especially when feet start burning. Oh my God, that's crazy suffering. It's even worse than some other problem because every day you find difficult to sleep.
Mm.
Family life gets affected badly. That's a
Mm.
big suffering where a couple cannot really enjoy their life together. It's a big suffering. People don't talk about it openly, but it's a big suffering.
It affects
Okay,
sexual
so
health. Like it affects
yeah,
sexual health. Is that one of the
yeah,
big
yeah, yeah,
outcomes?
very much, very much, very much. It's a very big
Like
outcome, and the people
what?
prefer not to talk about it, but it affects it big time.
Okay.
That itself is a big suffering, because a lot of our, I mean, the joy gets robbed. The joy of eating well. Like, what are we on earth? What do? We love going through some degree of experiences, okay, and sensual experiences, like even eating well, eating sweets, eating whatever you love, eating as much as you love. You get monitored. Your wife, your mother, they'll be monitoring what you're taking in your plate. So that's also suffering. So all your experiences get compromised in terms of eating, in terms of traveling at times. Uh, so and it's a reminder all the time. Somebody's saying, "Oh, you're a diabetic. You're a diabetic. You're a diabetic." That itself is very painful. Yeah, it's very painful to be labeled into a category. Such a big suffering it is.
What's the people who are sticking around for this one, sir, are either people who are dealing with diabetes themselves, are very fascinated by the subject, or have someone in their life who's got diabetes. So what's the CTA, sir? Like, what is the call to action in terms of what's the first step you take when you're diagnosed with it, rather than just kind of going by the book? Most people know the by the book stuff, but what is the medical practitioner input here, sir?
So most of the medical practitioners know that diet, exercise has to be the starting point, and they do recommend that, okay, lose 5-10 kgs of weight, start walking, control your diet, blah blah blah. So that's there, but sooner or later the metformin starts, the first tablet, and the second, the Zoril, the Amaryl, the Diamicron, whatever. There's so many tablets now, and then within 10 years it's like almost 50% going on insulin. International, India, maybe the percentage is lower. But of course, the trial is to make changes in diet and exercise. And what I find is, because it's so connected to your habit patterns, okay, as a human being, we are all made up of our own comfort foods, which we've had with our mother and grandmother. And, and India is a land of festivals and marriages, and a lot of things happen in our lives. So even if you commit to some change in diet and exercise, okay, like 31st December phenomena, which lasts till max to max 10th of Jan, we are kind of around that, all the motivation starts dipping. So yeah, doctors do say, come on, exercise. Oh, I try, but weight is not coming down. Sometimes the direction is not correct. I mean, there are enough number of people who try to walk their heart out, but they don't lose weight because they're burning enough calories and eating them later. So
yeah,
that's
but specifically, sir,
happen.
About the diabetes issue, what are some, like, actionables that most people don't understand? Like, what would you like to suggest? As on a daily basis, what can people do practically?
What they need to do is okay, screen blurring is happening. Just got a message. So what they need to do daily basis practically is first measure their waist. Okay, that's very important. That need not be done daily, but at least if you cross 30, it's time that you measure your waist honestly, 1 inch below your navel, and check if your waist is half of your height. So let's say if your height is whatever, 5'6", common Indian height, 66 inches, then your waist needs to be less than 33.
Got it.
Okay, now it's a simple tool popularized by endocrinologists, a very important tool, because there's no much greater measurement involved in that. And the whole diabetes journey, reversal journey, is all about commitment. It's about passion, about wanting to reverse, wanting to become free. Okay, so once you measure the waist, then of course, if it's more, and of course, we've got 20% diabetics who are not having a full-blown waist. Okay, they are thin diabetics also. 20% thin fat Indians, it's called. So once they do to that, then I think what matters a lot is to take an understanding as to what are the causes of why this happens in so many different people at so many different ages, and what are the causes which are relevant to you.
Hmm.
Okay, that's what is very crucial. It's very simple. Okay, get up in the morning and start the green smoothie. It's very easy for me to tell that, and there are enough free videos done and enough YouTube videos available. Lots of people follow and all that, so it helps. But why do I take the green smoothie? How long do I take it? What is the effect is going to happen in my body? Some degree of knowledge understanding is crucial for uh, not only results but commitment and movement uh, progressively towards becoming free or becoming reverse. So if you want very simple tips, I'll say start the green smoothie, start doing some stair climbing after you had your meals, because that's very tangible, very quick. You have a
Hmm.
meal at 1 o'clock, and at 2:45 you can check your sugars and quickly go up and down steps for just 5 or 10 minutes,
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
and the sugars are going to come down immediately. They're going to come down 30, 40, 50 points. But that's not the be end and everything about it. You need to first take time out, spend a couple of hours with us, understand what the causes are, what the solutions are, step by step take them. But two simple tips for 2022 joiners who want to just quickly know. I would say start the green smoothie, which is there on Freedom from Diabetes channel. Start the stair climbing a couple of hours after a meal. You will start seeing effect on your sugars and your weight. Both,
Hmm.
both you will see the effect of it. So that's the two simple tips. And of course, measure your waistline and commit for less than half of your height.
Got it. So actually, we're getting some questions from the audience also. Someone asked the relationship between intermittent fasting and diabetes. Is there any relationship like that? Like, is it advisable for diabetics not to take up IF? Because we see a lot of, like, even I've been on IF for years now, and it's benefited me. But again, I'm not someone who's dealing with diabetes. So, what's the actual science?
So we have a very detailed video on it. I have a very detailed video. 2 million people have seen that video. Should diabetics fast? Almost 2 million people. It's a very detailed, insightful, informative video. Summary of that right now, which I can share, is in diabetics the cells are overloaded with fat and sugar both. So fasting is a very natural strategy to empty out the cells of the fat and the sugar. So fasting is
Hmm.
recommended. The
Hmm.
challenge is you get stuck in one kind of fast. Like many people will do 16-8, okay, or 2 meals. It'll give you some effect for some time, but body is so intelligent. What it will do is it will reduce your temperature by a few percentage point. You won't even realize it, to
Hmm.
conserve calories.
Hmm.
And second thing, it will start getting into cravings.
Hmm.
So fasting is recommended, intermittent fasting is recommended, but don't get stuck in one type of fast. You'll have to play around with different types of fast and also exercise patterns to keep getting the results. Otherwise, you'll plateau after some time. And in fact, most of the longitudinal studies on weight loss and diabetes show that it may come back again after
Hmm.
1 year, 2 years, 3 years. We've been
Hmm.
able to maintain people for 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9 years
Got it.
because because of a lot of complex changes in their brain and their understanding and their habits.
Got it. So even lifestyle medicine is like coming up in a big way. I feel post-COVID, people are getting very conscious about how they just diet or what they do specifically with their food. So even for the people say who are not dealing with diabetes yet, is one of the ways. I mean, it's a counterintuitive question for you, sir, because it will reduce the number of patients you will get in the long term. But still, there are a lot of people who are watching this who are just thinking about it from a lifestyle perspective or preventive care perspective. Would you recommend IF as something everyone should do for their long-term health or some sort of fasting for long-term health?
Yes, provided you're overweight.
Okay,
If you're already good weight or underweight, then you need to eat more, right?
got it. Hmm.
I have had people who are already underweight continuing to do 2 meals or intermittent fasting. Then they land
Hmm.
up into more problems because, look, nutrition is needed by the body, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're when you're overnourished, that's when you do fasting. Yeah, as
Mm-hmm.
a matter of cleansing, once a month you do, even if you're okay weight or underweight, it's okay. But you can't go into a pattern regularly if you're underweight or normal weight. That time you
Mm-hmm.
need to eat properly, eat really well.
Do you enjoy neuroscience, sir? Neuroscience is one of those subjects.
I love it.
Got it. Yeah. So there's actually a professor from Stanford University. His name is Dr. Huberman, and he's come out with his own like solo podcast. So you should check it out. Like, and I'm not even a doctor. You know, I gave up biology in fact in 10th standard, but biology is something that's always fascinated me. And then I took up being a health professional, so I had to do a few certifications. So I dipped back into biology, but never have I seen this much hype about biology as there is now, especially when it comes to neuroscience. So in neuroscience, there's something called neuroplasticity, which means that as you age, your brain can keep developing. You know, say the things you learn or the habits you form, all that makes you stronger. One thing that people don't understand about cravings or eating right is that even that is a form of neuroplasticity, basically. Like if you crave cake or if you crave whatever some dessert, but if you're able to sort of say no, I'll kind of deny myself now. The next time you get the craving, it's easier for you to beat it as a result of neuroplasticity. Your brains become like sort of like the muscle of your brain has become stronger. So what, as a doctor, what do you have to say about neuroplasticity in general? But I also love to know, like, you know, the neuroscience of the work that you do. And I'm sure everyone here wants to know the same. But go on, let me know.
I think this is the heart of the work because knowing the right diet, knowing the right exercise, there's enough information on the net. What happens is let's break down the neuroplasticity into very simple, digestible things. I'll make it very easy, okay? So there's a neuron, okay? There are many parts to it, I won't go into that. Now, that neuron comes and touches two more neurons, okay? Now you see a sweet dessert or something where you're getting craving, okay? And let's say till now you have trained yourself to fire an impulse from this neuron to the right neuron, okay? Which is typically connected to the midbrain in the center of the brain, okay? That's connected to stress. It's connected to irritation. It's connected to emptiness. It's connected to all kinds of things which are something that, you know, a person craves for, which is stressful in a way. In simple language, stressful, okay? So what happens is the moment you go by that action, okay, you took that sweet or whatever, chocolate or whatever it is, you get a little high and all that. So you learn a behavior and you keep doing that, talk, 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 talk. So you created that pathway of a craver. All right. Now, what is neuroplasticity over here? This neuron was joining two other neurons. You could fire. This is called a saboteur. It's called sabotage, something that sabotages you. And there's another one which is called as sage. Okay. This is by a very profound researcher. Okay. There's a sage pathway. Now, that sage pathway is connected to the front brain, this part of the brain.
It's
You
like
actually,
cartoons where you have a devil on one side and an angel on one side. The devil is telling you do the wrong thing. Angel's telling you do the right thing. Anyway, go on.
correct. Correct. Now, how do you shift to the sage, the front brain? Did you come in the present moment? Okay, one of the things which the researcher recommends is tactile, just for 10 seconds. If you just feel the ridges of your finger, or you just watch your breath, or you just kind of see what's around you. Okay, lot kinds of meditation techniques which we use. But many times what happens, meditation, you get stuck up in that half an hour, 1 hour in the morning. When you are in the heat of that craving, no, that time there's no meditation coming at point of time for helping you immediately if you're not developed that much. So you come to the present moment and you choose the sage. Okay, I'll kind of not take it right now. It's called the command you give to yourself. Okay, I won't do it. Now the moment from this neuron you fired a pulse on the left neuron, you've created a pathway over there. Now second time craving comes, you go again. Third time craving comes again. And that's what happens is instead of the old Mumbai-Pune highway, you use a new Mumbai-Pune highway. The old Mumbai-Pune highway becomes a dirt road. You don't go there. That's in simple language neuroplasticity.
Mm.
It's awareness. Awareness. Look, awareness doesn't lead to freedom. Awareness itself is freedom.
Mm. Oh, that's beautiful.
Itself is the moment you come into the moment, huh? And you just command and you just move the other way, you started creating a new things inside your system. That's about learning. That's about implementing. You heard green smoothie should be done. You don't do it. One of the person inside you says how useful it's going to be. You're skeptical. Oh, I don't have time. I'm so busy professional. I don't have time. Uh, I can't do it. Blah 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 blah. And you experiment with once, twice, thrice. You get a result. You create and you say it's damn good. Yeah, yeah, 10 minutes goes, but it's worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have to get the benefit. You have to get the benefit from it, and you have to overcome your own inner demons.
Yes, sir.
That's the real thing. You have to overcome your own inner demons. If you want to be healthy, you need to overcome your own inner demons, and it's all about neuroplasticity, neuroplasticity, firing the left neuron, not the right, or whatever it is.
What was the thing you said for beating cravings? You said breathing patterns and something related to your finger. Can you just take the
You,
audience?
you can take all you can take all your senses. You can take all your senses. Like listening. Right now, people are watching us. Okay. Can they watch us completely for 10 seconds? Listen to every word for 10
Mm.
seconds. And the energy behind the words.
Mm.
So you listen. You see, okay, what all is there behind you wearing a yellow t-shirt, but what all is there? Can I use my eyes more for 10 seconds?
Mm.
Can I watch my breath for 10 seconds?
Mm.
Can I just play with my finger and thumb for 10 seconds? Tactile touch. So can I use my touch more? Can I use my taste more? Can I smell more? Can I just come in the moment more?
Got it. So
Because that's the moment of
it's like mindfulness through your sensory system. Got it.
absolutely.
Lovely, sir. So again, I have to go back to that neuroscience you gave us about the right pathway and the left pathway. See, the devil's pathway and the angel's pathway. Let's call it that for this call. So what I'm assuming about diabetics is that they've spent an entire life, or not just diabetics, anyone who's addicted to anything. It could even be something like weed or alcoholism or whatever. Someone who's addicted to it, they've constantly chosen that devil pathway, and therefore those systems are stronger right now. So it's why kind of they want more of that drug or more of that substance. And a lifetime full of this creates a situation like diabetes. But so other how, like, we all understood like the practical application that if you're craving, you go to the left. But when someone's at the peak of the diabetes or the peak of the addiction, how does a counselor like yourself kind of get them to start choosing that left hand path? Are there other ways? Is there like meditation you have to do? Is there some sort of exercise? Like, what causes it? Or is it like a painful wake up call? Like, that's what I look at diabetes as for a lot of people, that it's, you said suffering, but it's basically a body saying now start choosing the left path, like the angel path.
So I've met so many diabetics, and of course, every person is unique, and motivationally, every human being is so different. So as you said, sometimes you get a blood report. Suppose you get a blood report saying 9 HbA1c, 10 HbA1c, so 3-month average. And the doctor tells you, now I'll be putting you on insulin. That itself becomes a scare and, motivation to start becoming healthy. It's like a heart attack. There are so many people who have given up smoking the moment they got a heart attack. One jhatka and you come on track. So this now, but this is not something that everybody has access to, right? Sometimes it's more like a boiling frog. Your temperature is rising of the water and you're not even knowing that you are burning and boiling and dying. So what happens for different people is different things. Sometimes a comment of somebody else, or I would say basic human motivation. If you look at basic human motivation, we all want to learn. We all want to grow. We all want to earn more. We all want to become healthier, more fitter, more, live a fuller life, contribute to others. Okay. First, we want to sort things out in our own body, and then we want to help out others. It's a very common human basic thing. So it could be as simple as seeing a Google ad that reversal is possible. Main azad hu. We try to popularize it. So people watch that, get hooked on, listen, then attend a proper 2-hour session, they get a full feel of the causes, then they get onto the path. So the pathway of getting out of diabetes need not be dramatic every time. Sometimes it will be because you are like searching. Sometimes it's accident. Sometimes friends tell you like a lot of reasons. I mean, 35% of the people who come are from references because they've got benefit. They push their friends and family.
Yeah.
So that also happens. It's socially, it's quite a thing, you know. YouTube videos. Suddenly you see, you're talking of fasting. Literally thousands of people have come and joined us because of watching that video. Should diabetics fast? It's very insightful. Suddenly, the moment an awakening happens inside, no, I find that you become aware, you awaken. Okay, this is it, and you just go ahead. That's how it happens.
So, like, that's what I think. I was hearing a neuroscientist talk about addiction in general, and that person said that most forms of addiction begin to change when someone actually comes and tells you. Most, not all, but you always need that one friend or family member to say, "Listen, you gotta fix this." Until that point, you don't realize yourself. So, I mean, I'm sure there are people in the audience already like listening to this, many of whom are dealing with their own addictions. For many people, it might be junk food, processed food, vagera. So, but you know, they need to take that friends and family kind of call as a serious green signal to change their habits. Speaking about food, though, sir, other than like eating sugar, again, from a very functional perspective, like someone in their 20s, okay, or someone in their early 30s, other than the desserts, which everyone knows kind of now are the devils in food, but are there like regular, say, savory foods, like salty foods that you should kind of avoid in the long term to prevent yourself from a situation like diabetes later in life? Like, what is the whole white rice angle? Does that actually cause anything related to diabetes? What about South Indian food? You know, again, could you give like a kind of functional sort of diet chart?
Yeah. We give a diet expert for 1 year, an exercise expert for 1 year, a psychologist, a doctor, 4 team members work with people because they need to work with foods that they are used to, like South Indians, they're used to rice. Okay. Now, white rice is something, again, we know glycemic index is more, sugar is going to shoot more. But you do go on brown rice and polished rice, and there are various varieties of it and tastier varieties of it. Okay. But after some point of time, if you want to try white rice, okay, you should be able to handle it easily. Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's not white rice causes diabetes. Yeah, it does shoot sugars. But if you're fit enough, then you're able to handle white rice. In fact, you are able to handle sweets which are much more sugary and sugar shooting than white rice. So don't search for one food item which is problematic. It could be maida, it could be white rice or whatever. Look at your overall capacities, look at your fitness level, okay? And depending on how bad you are, decide to go that strict for 2, 3 months, 4 months to get your house in order. And then maybe then you start implementing. Like we've got a glycemic ladder training. So it'll be short. We make them have, okay, now you're going to have 5 Kaju Katlis, okay? Now you're going to have 6 jalebis. We actually planned it for 6 months. You're going to have white rice poha. You're going to have a cheese sandwich. Okay. You're going to have 3 gulab jams with 3 puris and all of that. So those kind of once a week, they need to go on to a diet which is so-called not to be taken. But we were able to handle all this when we were young, right? We were able to handle all this when we were young. So why not? Once you reverse, once you become fitter, you should be able to handle all of that. It's not a big deal.
That's lovely. So you want to take some questions, you know, to end the session from the audience? There's a lot of people like sending in their stuff. So let me relay some questions to you.
Sure.
So you can take this as a sort of rapid fire round, okay? You can just like, we'll move from one question to another. So, okay, someone's asking your opinion on oatmeal.
Can have for lunch and dinner.
Okay.
Especially rolled oats, steel cut oats, not refined oats. Yeah.
Like someone said chicken and fish. What's your opinion?
They are acidic, high on fat. Pause for some time, become fitter, then you should go for it. In case if you need to go for it, yeah. Pause for some time.
I'm waiting for more questions. Till then I'll ask you one of mine. Okay, someone's saying roti, but actually the supplemental question I want to ask here is that they say that the wheat we eat in India it's not as nutritious as the wheat we used to get like 20 years, 30 years ago because of degradation of the topsoil layer of the regions in which it's grown, which is primarily Punjab, North India. They call it the wheat basket of India. Is that true, sir? Is the roti we eat today not as good as it used to be?
Not only that, what's also relevant is the type of wheat which we use. So there's something called
Okay.
as emmer wheat, kapli wheat, jungli wheat, jod gehu, lal gehu, kalyan sona, bansi gehu, durum wheat, long wheat, which were little ancient varieties. Some 70, 50, 60, 70 years back we used to have. They were little reddish, pinkish kind of wheats. They were smaller in size. And then the American wheats have come, which grow more per acre. So people want to go for them more because they get better yields. So you can try the traditional varieties of wheat, they're better.
Got it. Got it. Wow. That's where are the traditionals grown? They're grown all over India.
Yeah. Amazon, Zindabad. You can buy it over there.
So do you think that city food, like if we're in Mumbai, Delhi, places like this, chalo, I'm maybe not counting Delhi because it's still a central place, but maybe Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore. Do you think the nutrition of the food here is not up to the mark as compared to the nutrition of the food you get in, say, rural town? Question, sir?
Sorry, there was an incoming call. Yeah, I
Yes.
got the question. So nutrition level per city versus rural area. Uh, Look, we are getting, I mean, I would say 70-80% people from the cities only joining our programs. All of them are reversing. So all these are like very idealistic kind of questions, I would say. You get
Mm,
enough good nutrition in cities if you hunt for it, okay? And you get enough bad food also in cities.
got it. So we actually got a question from someone who said they're dealing with alcoholism here. I think they've stuck around because of that devil and angel example we gave. So,
Left and right neuro.
yeah, what do you do when you're getting withdrawal symptoms? I'm assuming that that person's craving going back to the habit or whatever. Other than,
Be, be They need to be in touch with the expert and take whatever medications required and precautions required because any kind look, we don't treat addictions, we don't treat alcoholism and addictions, so we are not an expert in that. You have diabetes, you got blood pressure, you got high cholesterol, you got hypothyroid, you got PCOD problem, we are there. We've done for thousands of people, 11,000 diabetics, 800 people of medicines from BP, almost 2,000 of cholesterol. We can handle that, but we don't deal with addictions, so I'm not an expert on that to comment with authority.
you know, crazy, sir, but I think you gave everyone a nice 101 on neuroscience basics and neuroplasticity basics. So I think everyone enjoyed this particular session, sir. If you have any, do you have any signing off note? Is there anything you want to address that we didn't? I kind of tried keeping it very practical because most people on Instagram just want the CTAs. They want to know what to do. So I definitely say check out the Freedom from Diabetes page and be in touch with all of sir's work. But sir, anything from your end?
Just make health your priority. It might seem very simple, but in the 20s, what you do to your body, the damages that you kind of incur, it becomes difficult to handle in 30s. And there are many people who meet us in the mid 30s who say, "Oh, I've got recently diagnosed." And we say, "Boy, oh boy, it's not recent. The problem has started 10 years back." Because insulin resistance is something which I want every person over here and every family member to register. That's the major cause of diabetes and lifestyle disorders. And you need to understand it builds over 5 to 10 years. It's not overnight. So just make health your priority. Invest time in learning how to become healthy from experts and then do whatever is best because there's nothing better than the pursuit for good health. It's such a joy, such a joy.
And I think that's the beauty of biology also. Everything is very systematic, functional. It's like the best machine in the universe, your own body. So it is important for all of us to like get to know how it works. But Dr. Tripathi, thank you. This was fun. And I'm sure you'll have a lot of people writing into you, asking you about details. So I will let you enjoy the kind of inflow now.
Thank you. Thank you. It was good fun interacting with all the spontaneous questions. And I just wish well to you, your team, and all those who are on the call right now and later to take the right steps ahead.
No, I'm glad. Great talking to you, Dr. Tripathi. Learned a lot.
Thank you very much. Good wishes. Bye bye.
Bye, sir.